and the laborer's rhythm is shaped by the grand design set by those in higher chambers. Occasionally, the pharaoh may descend to observe, work first-hand, a gentle stroll through the distant sands. Even then, the visit is carefully orchestrated, paths swept, sledges positioned, and workers arranged to show the progress of construction. You might imagine the soft clinking of ceremonial ornaments as he walks, the faint shuffle of feet on stone, and the warm, desert breeze brushing across both palace and pyramid site. It is a subtle reminder of the connections between the two lives, the monumental and the personal, the exerted and the observed. Meals for the elite are quiet, reflective affairs. Freshly baked bread, lentils, fruits, and the occasional delicacy of fish or fowl prepared with careful hands. Attendants serve in measured silence, and conversation is gentle, contemplative. You might picture the pharaoh savoring each bite, not in haste, but with an awareness of abundance and purpose, contrasting sharply with the hard-earned bread of the laborers, consumed quickly in the midday sun to restore energy. Even leisure is deliberate. Music may drift softly from a nearby chamber, the gentle pluck of a harp, the light rhythm of wooden percussion, or the subtle hum of flutes. These melodies, quiet and measured, mirror the calm of palace life, providing a soothing cadence to the hours between duty and ceremony. Imagine the pharaoh reclining, listening, and observing each note, a reflection of the harmony he seeks, both within himself and across the kingdom he governs. Yet, despite comfort and privilege, life for the elite carries its own challenges. Expectations, rituals, and scrutiny weigh gently but persistently, shaping each decision and movement. In this contrast, you may notice a curious balance. The laborer's life, though physically demanding, carries its own simplicity and clarity, while the elite's life, though protected and abundant, requires constant awareness and subtle navigation. Both lives are guided by structure, rhythm, and purpose, though expressed in entirely different ways. Social gatherings offer a glimpse into the softer, human side of palace life. Nobles exchange news, stories, and gentle humor, while artisans and entertainers provide subtle enjoyment. Dancers tracing smooth, deliberate patterns, musicians accompanying them with soft melodies, and poets reciting verses that tell of gods, rivers, and the eternal horizon. These interactions, measured and refined, create a calm vibrancy, a gentle acknowledgement that even within wealth and power, human connection remains central. As the day closes, the palace settles into quiet reflection. Torches flicker, casting long, gentle shadows across painted walls, while the distant call of birds and the whisper of evening wind bring a sense of calm. You may imagine the pharaoh seated in quiet meditation, observing the alignment of stars through an open window, each one a gentle reminder of the celestial patterns mirrored in the geometry of the pyramids themselves. In this moment, the contrast between labor and leisure, exertion and contemplation is soft and almost musical. The rhythm of the kingdom workers, artisans, priests, and pharaohs alike contributes harmoniously, each role essential, each life contributing to the enduring legacy of civilization. Standing in imagination at the intersection of these worlds, you feel a gentle serenity, a quiet understanding of human balance, and a profound appreciation for both the monumental efforts of the builders and the measured lives of those who watched, guided and supported from afar. As night falls completely over the desert, the last torches fade, and both camps, the palace and the pyramid, sight rest in silent accord. The air cools, the stones retain the memory of the day's warmth, and a gentle calm settles over the land. You, imagining yourself amidst both worlds, may notice a profound rhythm, labor, guidance, observation, reflection, all woven into the enduring fabric of life along the Nile. Imagine waking just before dawn in a modest mud brick house, the soft glow of early light spilling across woven mats and the faint outline of simple wooden furniture. The air is cool and carries a mixture of dust, warm earth, and the subtle aroma of grain porridge being prepared for breakfast. Outside, the desert is quiet, the distant Nile glimmering faintly under the awakening sky. In this calm, unhurried space, families begin their day, each movement small but deliberate. Children stretch and yawn, their soft laughter mingling with the low murmur of adults preparing for the day. Pots are gently stirred over small fires, and loaves of bread are shaped by hands that know the rhythm of the dough, pressing and folding with a practiced calm. You might notice the gentle hiss of steam rising from a cooking vessel, the quiet clink of pottery, and the occasional soft thump of kneading on a wooden surface. Each sound, subtle and unobtrusive, blends into the ambient rhythm of daily life. The laborers themselves rise with the sun, their hands already carrying the memory of stones yet to be moved, before leaving for the pyramid site. They offer quiet moments of connection, a child's hand brushed, a small offering of bread shared, a simple nod of encouragement to a spouse. These gestures are not hurried. They carry a soft significance, the gentle acknowledgement of shared purpose and care. The path to the pyramid is long but unhurried. Sand shifts beneath bare feet, and the cool morning breeze brushes against sun-warmed skin. Groups of workers walk together, carrying simple tools and ropes, their movements synchronized in a subtle, comforting rhythm. You may imagine the soft scrape of wood against sand, the faint shuffle of sandals, and the gentle murmur of quiet conversation, all harmonizing into a calm, unintrusive melody of movement. At the construction site, the rhythm of labor is steady and predictable. Sledges slide across prepared paths, pulleys creak softly, and chisels tap in measured cadence. There is a flow here, a natural progression of action. Lift, move, position, repeat. No single sound dominates. Instead, they blend together into a gentle orchestration of effort. Imagine hands calloused but precise, muscles flexing in practiced sequences, and bodies attuned to both exertion and endurance. Each stone moved, each tool lifted, contributes quietly to the slow unfolding of a monumental vision. Even during work, moments of pause emerge naturally. A shared sip of water, a quiet exchange of encouragement, a glance at the distant horizon where the Nile reflects the sun's early light. All provide subtle relief and a soft connection to the larger world. You may feel the gentle reassurance of continuity. The work is hard, but it is measured, deliberate, and shared among companions who understand the rhythm of each day. Mealtimes punctuate the day with calm regularity. Workers sit on simple mats, breaking bread and sharing small portions of lentils, onions, and fish. Conversations are soft, often about routine, the weather, or small household matters. Laughter, gentle and unobtrusive, floats above the desert's ambient stillness, mingling with the scent of roasted grains and the occasional aromatic herb. These meals are both sustenance and ceremony, a quiet reaffirmation of life amid labor. Children, meanwhile, play near the edges of camps, their activities simple and rhythmic. They chase each other around stone piles, balance along low walls, or gather small clay figurines to examine. You can imagine the soft patter of tiny feet on sand, the occasional giggle, and the rustle of woven garments as they move. Even in play, there is a subtle echo of the day's broader rhythm, repetition, learning, and quiet growth. Life in worker communities extends beyond labor. Women tend small gardens or weave mats and baskets, hands moving in gentle, circular patterns, each repetition both purposeful and meditative. The aroma of fresh herbs mingles with the warmth of the sun-baked earth, creating a soothing tapestry of scents and sensations. Evening brings communal gatherings, where stories are quietly shared, sometimes in whispers or low hums, recounting history, gods, or memorable events in a calm, reflective tone. Medical care, though simple, is carefully administered. Minor injuries from tools or stones are treated with herbal compresses or poultices, hands guided with gentle precision. Imagine a small bandage being applied, a soothing word whispered, and the sense of care, however basic, gently attending to the well-being of each individual. These acts of attention create a quiet reassurance, a soft undercurrent of human connection threading through the day. As the sun dips lower, shadows stretch across the sand, cooling the day. The workers return to their homes, feet brushed free of dust, faces tired but calm, and hands bearing traces of effort. Fires are lit, small meals are prepared, and the quiet rhythm of evening settles into place. You may notice the soft crackle of flames, the faint scent of cooked grains, and the gentle murmur of families reconnecting after a long day. Night brings further quiet moments. Stars emerge gradually, mirrored faintly in the Nile, casting a gentle luminescence over sleeping homes. The distant silhouette of the pyramids stands as a silent witness to the day's efforts. Imagine lying on a simple mat, the cool stone beneath, the gentle rustle of linen and the soft sigh of the wind carrying the day's final warmth away. The world is calm, structured, and enduring, each rhythm of daily life resonating quietly against the backdrop of monumental human endeavor. In these moments, the subtle interplay of effort, rest, care, and connection becomes apparent. The laborers' lives, though physically demanding, are suffused with gentle routines, comforting repetition and shared purpose. Each gesture, from a child's laugh to a quiet meal, contributes to a steady cadence, an enduring rhythm that persists across generations, echoing softly through time. As the desert night settles fully, the pyramid looms in soft shadow, the homes are hushed, and the air carries the faint memory of warmth and labor. In your imagination, you may feel the quiet satisfaction of lives well lived, the gentle continuity of daily tasks, and the soft, enduring presence of community and human persistence. Here, in the calm, measured unfolding of ordinary moments, the grandeur of the pyramids takes on a human scale, and you may let your mind rest, gently rocking between the vast stones of history and the subtle rhythms of everyday life. Imagine walking quietly along the edge of a bustling pyramid site, where the rhythm of sledges, chisels, and calloused hands blends into a gentle, enduring hum. At first glance, the workers appear as a single, moving body, each individual contributing to a monumental collective effort. Yet, woven into this expanse are figures who move differently, overseers and skilled craftsmen whose role is subtle but pivotal. These individuals are neither distant royalty nor laborers in the sand. They are the guiding hands, the quiet organizers, whose decisions ripple across the site in soft, deliberate waves. Overseers rise with the sun, as do the workers. But their mornings are less about exertion and more about preparation. Imagine a narrow strip of shade beneath a small wooden structure, maps of stone placement sketched onto papyrus, and small piles of tools arranged meticulously. Each overseer examines the day's plan with careful attention. Which blocks must be lifted, which sledges will traverse the smooth ramps, and which teams require guidance. Their expertise is both practical and measured, built from experience, observation, and a deep understanding of human effort. The day begins with a gentle walk through the camp. The overseer observes quietly, noting the alignment of teams, the flow of movement, and the subtle cues of fatigue or ease in workers' movements. A soft word here, a nod there, and the laborers adjust almost imperceptibly. There is no shouting, no urgency. The direction is given through calm authority, reinforced by routine and respect. Imagine the quiet coordination of hundreds of individuals, each stone moved in alignment with both plan and rhythm, orchestrated without force but through subtle guidance. Skilled craftsmen occupy a slightly different, yet complementary, space. They chisel, carve, and shape the finer details of the stones, tools held with a precision born of repetition. Their day is measured by technique, observation, and correction. A craftsman may pause frequently, examine a surface with keen eyes, and make minute adjustments, ensuring that every block fits seamlessly into the growing monument. You can imagine the soft scratch of a chisel against limestone, the occasional scrape of sandpapering, and the quiet satisfaction of alignment achieved. Overseers also function as intermediaries between the laborers and the elite. They report progress, note challenges, and translate the grand vision of the pharaoh into actionable steps. A tablet may carry inscriptions detailing deliveries of stone, rotations of teams, or the small adjustments required by shifting sands. Imagine the careful strokes of a reed pen on papyrus, the faint scratch echoing in a quiet tent, a record that will guide future actions and decisions. Leadership here is as much about observation as instruction. An overseer may notice that a particular team moves more efficiently when rotated through different tasks, or that midday rests can be timed to optimize endurance. Small gestures, a hand on a shoulder, a nod of acknowledgement, a gentle correction carry far more weight than words raised in urgency. The rhythm of the site is maintained not by force, but by attentive guidance, a soft, persistent orchestration of human energy. Conflict is rare, but handled with care. Disputes over task allocation or minor errors in alignment are resolved calmly, often with measured dialogue or reassignment. You might imagine a brief consultation under a shaded structure, voices low and precise, gestures small and deliberate, until agreement is restored and the work resumes seamlessly. This approach, though quiet, ensures continuity and preserves the gentle cadence of daily effort. The overseer's knowledge extends beyond the immediate site. They understand the characteristics of stone quarries, the mechanics of sledges over sand and ramps, and the subtle patterns of fatigue in human effort. Decisions are made with foresight, which stones to transport first, how to rotate workers, and when to adjust tools or ramps. Each choice, though seemingly minor, accumulates across the day to shape the pace and precision of construction. Imagine a small hand gesture redirecting a sledge, a soft whistle signaling a pause, and the entire rhythm of the site responding with gentle coordination in quieter moments. Overseers reflect on their own roles. The weight of responsibility is not burdensome in an anxious sense, but measured like a steady pulse beneath the day's activity. They consider not only the immediate progress, but also the legacy of the structure, the harmony of labor, and the subtle interplay between effort and endurance. You can picture them at the edge of the site, eyes tracing the alignment of massive stones, listening to the distant lapping of the Nile, and sensing the slow, deliberate unfolding of a vision that will endure for generations. Evenings offer a softer rhythm. Oversight continues, though less intense, as workers return to their homes, tools are cleaned, and small reports are prepared. Overseers record the day's achievements, noting adjustments for tomorrow. Perhaps a brief consultation with a master craftsman occurs, discussing the finer points of chisel technique or ramp alignment. These conversations, calm and precise, ensure continuity and the gentle refinement of practice over time. You may imagine the satisfaction of a day well guided. The overseer returns to simple meals, quietly prepared, often with a small fire and the subtle aroma of bread or lentils. There is a soft companionship in shared stories or quiet reflection, a gentle acknowledgement that while the day's labor has passed, its impact persists in stone and memory. Night falls, cooling the sand, and the overseer's tents, though modest, carry the same calm and rhythm that define the broader pyramid site. In observing the overseers, one notices a fascinating balance. Authority tempered with subtlety, responsibility guided by patience, and leadership expressed through observation and gentle correction. Their work bridges the extremes of human experience, connecting the immense exertion of laborers with the distant vision of royalty, ensuring that the rhythm of the site continues unbroken, like a soft, enduring heartbeat beneath the desert sky as the stars emerge, twinkling above the resting pyramids and quieted camp, the overseers to find rest. Their role, though demanding, is marked by continuity and structure. You may imagine the soft, consistent rhythm of their thoughts, a calm reflection on effort, human coordination, and the quiet satisfaction of contributing to something monumental. Their presence, like that of the laborers and elite, underscores a gentle truth that history is shaped not only by the hands that move stone or hold power, but by those who guide, observe, and sustain the rhythm of human endeavor. Imagine standing at the base of the Great Pyramids just before dawn, the air cool, the horizon softly glowing with the first light, and the massive stones towering above you like silent sentinels. Their sheer presence invites quiet curiosity. What secrets lie beneath, between, and beyond these meticulously arranged blocks? Beneath the visible grandeur, there are subtle stories, hidden patterns, and cultural whispers waiting to be felt. Rather than seen, archaeology provides a gentle window into this hidden world. Excavations reveal traces of daily life long buried, fragments of pottery, discarded tools, small personal items, and remnants of simple meals. Each artifact carries a quiet testimony, a whisper from someone who walked the same sands thousands of years ago. Imagine the soft scrape of a trowel against earth, the careful brushing of sand from an ancient object, and the meticulous recording of its location. As though listening to history itself, some of these discoveries speak to the ingenuity of the builders. Small grooves etched into stones suggest precise techniques for sliding and levering massive blocks. Copper chisels, though simple by modern standards, reveal skillful craftsmanship and patience. You may imagine the soft reflection of sunlight on these tools, the faint metallic scent of copper, and the careful hands that shaped both tool and stone with gentle persistence. Each mark, imperceptible at first glance, tells a story of measured effort, problem-solving, and quiet triumph. Cultural practices of the time surface in subtle ways, too. Remains of small shrines or offerings hint at the spiritual life interwoven with labor. Workers may have left tiny figurines, shells, or grains, small gestures of devotion or hope. Imagine the faint scent of incense carried on the desert breeze, the soft placement of tiny objects into the earth, and the gentle intention behind these acts of connection to unseen forces and an acknowledgement of life's fragility amidst monumental work. Burials near the pyramid sites offer another layer of insight. Simple graves of workers, often modest and orderly, stand in contrast to the grandeur of the royal tombs. The orientation of these graves, the items included, and the careful arrangement of stones suggest respect, care, and a quiet acknowledgement of each life. You can picture the soft sweep of sand over a small grave, the gentle alignment of stones, and the faint imprint of hands that once labored nearby. These resting places carry the weight of lived experience, yet they do so with a calm dignity, a muted celebration of continuity and presence. Sometimes, archaeology uncovers puzzles that invite slow reflection rather than immediate understanding. Walls with unexplained inscriptions, corridors leading nowhere, and the faint impressions of tools used in ways not fully understood today offer gentle mysteries. Imagine tracing the curve of a carved symbol, feeling the smoothness of worn stone beneath your fingers, and wondering about the hands and minds that created it. These enigmas are not frightening. They are contemplative, offering quiet space for imagination and connection with the past. The pyramids themselves are a study in cultural expression. Their alignment with celestial bodies, the precise orientation to cardinal points, and the careful selection of limestone from distant quarries all speak to a worldview attuned to order, balance, and harmony. You may picture the faint shimmer of stars above the desert, the soft reflection of sunlight on polished limestone, and the careful thought invested in every measurement, reminding us that human curiosity and intention stretch beyond the immediate, into the rhythms of time and cosmos. Artifacts also revealed the softer side of community life. Small amulets, decorative beads, and fragments of woven textiles suggest attention to personal adornment and subtle self-expression. Imagine a worker gently threading a small bead onto a string or smoothing a piece of woven fabric, simple acts that carry quiet dignity. Even amidst labor, these objects hint at beauty, care, and human sensibility, a gentle counterpoint to the physical demands of construction. Archaeologists also uncover signs of nourishment, rest, and ritual. Bones of animals prepared for meals, fragments of bread, and traces of beer illustrate routines of sustenance. Small ovens, fire pits, and traces of communal kitchens indicate that workers' lives were not only about labor. They were about continuity, nourishment, and shared human experience. You might imagine the soft aroma of baking bread, the quiet chatter around a small fire, and the sense of calm that comes from tending both body and community. Cultural expressions extend into music, art, and daily rituals. Simple flutes, percussion instruments, and wall carvings hint at melodies once heard, gentle rhythms that accompanied both work and rest. Welcome as you settle into your seat, or perhaps into the gentle embrace of your bed. Allow your mind to drift slowly back, far beyond the hum of modern life, into a world built of sand, stone, and human perseverance. Imagine, for a moment, the Nile flowing serenely through a sun-warmed landscape. The water reflects the hazy glow of the morning sun, rippling quietly, carrying with it the rhythm of life for thousands of people in this world. Life follows the slow, steady pulse of the river, the rising and setting of the sun, and the whisper of the desert wind. The people who inhabit this land live with the seasons, the harvests, and the demanding structures of their society. Among them are those whose hands, back, and sweat shape one of humanity's most enduring achievements. The pyramids. Today, we will travel together into the lives of the men and women who labored to create these monumental structures. We will observe their routines, the rhythm of their days, the challenges they faced, and the small moments of human experience that persisted despite hardship. We will approach this history not as a tale of heroes or kings, but as a quiet meditation on the resilience, routine, and reality of life itself. So, let your mind soften. Imagine yourself stepping onto the dusty paths of an ancient Egyptian village. The sun, low but warming, the scent of baked clay mingling with the faint aroma of the river. Listen to the distant calls of workers, the clink of stone against stone, and the hum of life continuing day by day. And now, with this vision, let us begin our journey into the daily life of those who built the pyramids. The day begins quietly, long before the sun ascends fully above the horizon. Imagine yourself in a small mud brick dwelling, the walls cool. From the night, the straw mattress beneath you slightly uneven but comforting. Outside, the first light brushes the horizon, painting the sand in soft shades of pink and gold. The air is crisp and still, carrying the scent of river mud and early morning fires. Workers stir from their slumber. Some have families, and the morning begins with the hum of simple domestic tasks. Water drawn from the Nile, bread baked on small clay ovens, and a meager breakfast of grain and figs. Each bite is modest but sustaining, for the labor ahead will be relentless, yet methodical. You rise with them, feeling the weight of the day to come, yet sensing the familiar rhythm of the community, the cadence of life repeated day after day as the sun climbs slowly. Workers gather near the base of the pyramid under construction. The structures tower above, their vast stones reflecting the morning light. You hear the soft scrape of copper tools against limestone, the muted thud of wooden levers shifting enormous blocks, and the occasional call to adjust a sled or reposition a rope. Every motion is deliberate, practiced, the result of knowledge passed from father to son, master to apprentice. It is not chaos, but rather a quiet harmony of effort. The work is strenuous, but the pace is measured. The builders are not driven by the excitement of discovery or the thrill of innovation. They are guided by routine, by necessity, and by an understanding of the monumental task that lies before them. Their labor is endless, in a sense, yet it is punctuated by pauses, a sip of water drawn from leather flasks, the brief shade offered by a tent, the soft conversations shared in low tones. Consider the tools they use. Simple yet effective. Copper. Chisels glint in the sunlight. Wooden mallets rest lightly in calloused hands, and sledges creak slowly over sand dampened by careful water sprinkling. Each instrument has its rhythm, each action its precision. Mistakes are costly, yet learning is constant. You might imagine the faint smell of heated metal, the grainy feel of limestone dust beneath bare fingers, and the heat of the sun pressing softly but insistently against the skin. Despite the demanding labor, moments of humanity remain. Children play along the riverbank, their laughter ringing faintly across the construction site. Women tend gardens, repair garments, or prepare simple meals for families. Men share stories, quietly at first, of harvests past, of dreams and concerns, of the ever-pressing weight of time. Life continues alongside labor, a steady, gentle rhythm. Much like the river itself, by mid-morning the sun is fully overhead, casting long, soft shadows along the partially completed pyramid. Workers pause briefly, wiping brows, leaning against stone blocks, and inhaling the dry, warm air. The pace is relentless, yet not hurried. Each step is deliberate, each movement purposeful. There is a subtle meditation in the repetition, the scraping of chisel on stone, the sliding of a sledge across sand, the steady pull of ropes in unison. Imagine yourself immersed in this rhythm, the repetitive yet deliberate motions guiding your attention and your breath into calm continuity. The day stretches forward, marked by small patterns, a sip of cool water from the Nile, a shared fig or piece of bread, the quiet encouragement of a supervisor or fellow laborer. The work is physically demanding, yet communal. The struggle is collective, each person contributing a small but essential part to a grand and enduring whole. The pyramid grows slowly, each stone a testament to countless repetitions of simple, exacting actions. By afternoon, the sun begins its gentle descent. Shadows lengthen, offering a momentary relief from the direct heat. You notice the interplay of light and stone, the way the golden glow softens the hard edges of the blocks, and the hum of work begins to soften. Tools are set aside, and the workers gather near the river for the evening wash, the ritual of cleaning dust-laden hands and limbs before returning home. Conversation is quieter now, voices hushed, reflecting both fatigue and satisfaction in a day's work done. Evening brings a gentle calm. The workers return to their dwellings, the smell of cooking fires blending with the cool air. Meals are simple, yet nourishing: bread, lentils, vegetables, sometimes fish from the Nile. Families gather, sharing stories of the day, small joys and minor frustrations. Laughter, though subdued, resonates through the air, and the rhythm of life continues gently into night. Finally, the day ends as it began, in quiet reflection and routine. The builders rest, their bodies aching yet familiar with the labor, their minds slowly easing into calm. The Nile glows faintly under the moon, casting silvered reflections across the landscape. The pyramids, enormous and enduring, stand silently nearby, a testament not only to kings and ambitions, but to the rhythm, patience, and perseverance of countless lives moving in quiet unison. And now, as you imagine yourself among them, softly along dusty paths, pausing to watch the sun set over the half-completed stones, allow your own breath to slow, your mind to settle, and your body to release tension. You are here, immersed in a life both distant and strangely familiar, feeling the pulse of history in a steady, soothing rhythm. Imagine, for a moment, a man named Kufwemhoba Foreman, whose hands have become familiar with every shape and texture of the stones that will eventually form the pyramid's perfect angles. He is not a king or priest, nor does he appear in the hieroglyphs carved for eternity. Yet his influence is profound, shaping the rhythm of hundreds of laborers and the steady progress of monumental work. Kufwemhub wakes before dawn, as do his men. He moves with a quiet confidence, his presence a calm anchor amidst the shifting demands of the day. You might notice how his fingers, calloused from years of lifting, measuring, and directing, carry a gentle precision even in the softest gestures. He knows the stones, the tools, and the subtle adjustments that prevent a block from cracking, a rope from fraying, a sledge from sliding uncontrollably in the desert sand. His knowledge was not inherited from kings or priests, but learned gradually, step by patient step. Imagine him as a boy, carrying water to the site, observing the older workers, memorizing patterns, the careful chant of men moving stone, the syncopated rhythm of effort repeated endlessly. Every day he absorbed lessons that could not be learned. From words, alone lessons of timing, leverage, and subtle human understanding. As a foreman, Kufwemheb's day is both structured and fluid. He begins with inspection, walking among his teams with a slow, deliberate pace, eyes scanning for cracks in stone, frayed ropes, or men whose posture shows fatigue. There is a quiet authority in his presence, not enforced with words or commands, but understood through experience. You might imagine the soft murmur of his voice as he gives guidance, directing a small group to adjust a sled or suggesting a slight repositioning of a lever. Each instruction is precise yet calm, maintaining a rhythm that mirrors the steady beat of life itself. Mid-morning, he pauses briefly with his assistants. They share a small meal, a few slices of flatbread, a few dried figs, perhaps a bit of salted fish preserved carefully in woven reed containers. Conversation is minimal but purposeful, discussing minor adjustments, the distribution of work, or plans for the next set of stones. In this quiet, deliberate sharing, there is a subtle intimacy, a sense that even in labor, there is a human connection that sustains them. You might picture him standing near a partially lifted block, hands resting lightly on its cool, sun-warmed surface. The sweat glistens faintly on his forehead, dust clings softly to his skin, and the soft murmur of men at work creates a soothing undercurrent. Kufwemhub is aware of every movement, every small shift in energy and focus, ensuring that the labor is effective, safe, and continuous. It is a delicate balance between exertion and calm. Control and patience are dance performed daily in the rhythm of stones and sand. Even as he oversees the work, he is himself a laborer. At times, he lends his strength to moving stones, guiding sledges, or lifting blocks with the collective effort of the team. His stature is not imposing, but measured, his energy consistent, steady, and enduring. In his actions, there is a silent lesson. Leadership is as much about participation as direction, and the effectiveness of the group relies on the quiet presence of someone who understands both the craft and the people performing it. Consider the relationships he maintains. The artisan stone carvers, masons, rope makers look to him for guidance, yes, but also for reassurance. In moments of fatigue, a nod, a soft word of encouragement, or simply his calm observation can restore energy and focus. The rhythm of life on the pyramid site is relentless, but his steady presence creates a subtle comfort, a reassurance that the work, though arduous, is purposeful and shared. Afternoons are often the most challenging. The sun presses down with gentle persistence, warming the stone and the sand, making muscles ache, but also casting long, soft shadows that outline the perfect geometric lines of the rising pyramid. Kufwemhub observes the subtle shifts in the worker's posture and energy, adjusting workloads, providing guidance, and ensuring the fragile equilibrium between effort and endurance is maintained. You might imagine the faint rustle of linen, garments, the soft clink of copper chisels, and the muted creak of sledges as they glide over sand dampened carefully to reduce friction. Each sound is part of a meditation of labor, a rhythm that carries forward without hurry or excitement. Evenings bring a gentle wind from the Nile. The work slows, and Kufwemhab walks slowly through the camp, observing quietly as men and women perform their routines, washing, tending small fires, repairing garments, or sharing quiet stories. He too takes his rest, sitting on a low stone bench, tasting a piece of bread dipped in soft lentils, feeling the cool air against his skin, and listening to the faint murmur of voices in the fading light. In these moments, you can almost sense the human narrative behind every block of stone: dedication, patience, skill, and the quiet dignity of labor. The pyramid is more than a monument to kings. It is a living record of hundreds of individuals, each with a story, each with a rhythm, each contributing to something vast, enduring, and precise. Before night fully settles, Kufwemhab rises to observe the work completed that day. Stones lie, aligned with subtle perfection, sledges rest gently in the sand, and the workers return to their homes. The air is cooler now, carrying the soft scent of river mud and evening fires. In the gentle twilight, he allows himself a quiet reflection, not on fame nor glory, but on the satisfaction of a day's work done well, a rhythm maintained, and the knowledge that the stones, though silent, carry the story of countless hands, hearts, and minds, dots as darkness falls, and you imagine yourself beside him, breathing the calm air, feeling the smooth edges of sun-warmed stones under your fingertips. You may notice a profound serenity in the ordinary and the repetitive. It is here, in the quiet diligence of daily labor and careful guidance, that the lives of those who built the pyramids reveal their enduring rhythm, steady, deliberate, and deeply human. Imagine, if you will, standing at the edge of a desert plain, the immense silhouette of the Great Pyramid rising slowly before you. The sun casts gentle shadows across its limestone surface, and the air carries the faint, dry scent of sand and stone. There is a quiet, almost contemplative stillness here, as if the pyramid itself has absorbed centuries of whispered histories, quiet labors, and human devotion beneath the surface. Hidden corridors and chambers tell a story of planning, precision, and enigmatic purpose. Archaeologists who have explored these spaces describe them with awe and subtle reverence. The passageways are narrow and steep, yet measured with exacting care, designed to serve functions that are only partially understood today. Imagine descending a dimly lit corridor, feeling the cool stone under your hands, and sensing the centuries of human effort embedded in every wall. The construction of the pyramids involved more than just labor. There were intricate mathematical calculations, a profound understanding of alignment, and a meticulous attention to proportions. The pyramid builders relied on the stars to guide their work, tracking celestial movements to ensure that each block and each corridor aligned precisely. Picture the builders at night, gazing upward at the constellations, their tired hands resting on chisels and ropes, minds attentive to the silent, unchanging heavens. Cultural practices intertwined closely with the construction. Every stone placed, every corridor aligned, carried symbolic significance. The Egyptians believed the pyramids were not merely tombs but conduits to eternity, bridges between the earthly and the divine. Funerary rituals, offerings, and ceremonial observances accompanied construction, creating a rhythm of work and worship, intertwined. Imagine the faint sounds of chanting from distant temples, the soft rustle of linen garments, and the aroma of incense and pressed oils. Mingling subtly with the desert air, archaeology has uncovered traces of daily life around these great structures. Pottery shards, tools, and fragments of woven mats revealed that workers ate, slept, and socialized nearby. These discoveries tell a gentle story of humanity, families who supported laborers, artisans whose skills were passed down in quiet tradition, and communities organized around the monumental task of creating something enduring. You can almost hear the soft chatter of children playing, the distant clinking of tools, and the occasional laughter echoing across the sand. The mystery of how exactly these massive stones were moved and lifted continues to intrigue both scholars and the curious mind. There are theories of sledges, lubricated paths, and coordinated human effort, all relying on careful timing, weight distribution, and ingenuity. Picture teams of workers moving enormous limestone blocks, the soft scrape of wood over sand, ropes taut in measured tension, and the faint echo of coordinated steps, a choreography that is both precise and unhurried. Beyond mechanics, the cultural dimension of the pyramids deepens their enigmatic aura. The hierarchy of labor, the delineation between skilled artisans and general workers, and the structured organization of daily life all reflect a society deeply aware of order, balance, and ritual. Festivals punctuated the year, offering rest, sustenance, and the rare indulgence of music and dance. Imagine the soft rhythms of a lyre in the evening, the gentle clapping of hands in celebration, and the scent of roasted grains mingling with the cooler desert breeze. Even burial practices reveal layers of human intention and care. The chambers within the pyramids were often lined with inscriptions, depicting the journey of the soul, moral guidance, and prayers for protection in the afterlife. Picture the meticulous hands carving hieroglyphs into stone, the steady tap of chisels echoing faintly in quiet chambers, each stroke deliberate and meditative. These inscriptions are reminders that the builders were engaged not only with physical labor, but also with a shared spiritual vision. However distant it may feel from our modern perspective, archaeological findings also hint at a complex social network surrounding the pyramids. Workers were provided with food rations, temporary housing, and medical attention when needed. Tombs of overseers and skilled artisans reveal objects of personal use, jewelry, and tools, small glimpses into individual lives set against the backdrop of monumental ambition. Imagine a craftsman carefully sharpening a chisel before dawn, a cook preparing a modest meal, or a child tracing shapes in the sand while watching their parents toil. Each act, mundane yet significant, contributes to the quiet persistence of life amid stone and sand. The pyramids themselves continue to inspire a gentle sense of wonder. Their alignment with cardinal points, the precision of their angles, and the subtle tapering of limestone layers all reflect an astonishing understanding of geometry and balance. Standing before them, you might feel a soft awe not of drama or danger, but of quiet mastery, human patience, and the calm unfolding of an extraordinary vision over generations. And yet mysteries remain. Chambers yet undiscovered, hidden inscriptions, faint beneath centuries of dust, and the silent stories of those whose names were never recorded or whispered to us through time. Imagine tracing your fingers along cool, smooth stone, sensing the faint imprint of lives long past, and letting the mind wander gently through corridors that remain secret and serene. As evening settles over the desert, shadows lengthening across the pyramid's face, the rhythm of life slows, The workers have departed, leaving only faint traces of movement, and the desert wind whispers softly through narrow gaps and angled surfaces. It is a moment of calm reflection, a gentle pause to contemplate the blend of human ingenuity, labor, and culture. You, standing beside these enduring stones in your imagination, can feel the quiet echo of a civilization that balanced work, faith, and daily life with deliberate care. In this gentle immersion, mystery and reality coexist. You sense both the challenges and the quiet triumphs, the unseen hands and the visible stones, the mundane and the monumental, all woven into a continuous tapestry of life. Let your mind rest here for a moment, absorbing the rhythm, the balance, and the understated wonder of the pyramids as the day softens into night and the calm settles around you like a gentle, warm blanket of history. Imagine yourself standing within the cool stone walls of a grand palace, a space far removed from the sun-baked stones and rhythmic labor of the pyramid builders. The air here is calm and carries a delicate mixture of scents, finely pressed oils, the faint sweetness of incense, and the soft aroma of freshly baked bread prepared for the household. The rooms are expansive, lined with polished limestone, and adorned with delicate wall paintings depicting serene river scenes, abundant gardens, and the occasional ceremony of the king. In this world lives the pharaoh, whose existence is structured by ritual, ceremony, and a careful orchestration of daily life. Unlike the laborers, whose day is measured by sunrise, stone, and sledge, the pharaoh's time is divided between audiences, offerings, and oversight of both religious and administrative matters. Imagine him rising before dawn, bathed in the soft glow of oil lamps, the cool stone beneath his feet, and attendants moving quietly around him, adjusting garments and preparing his meals. Every action, from the placement of sandals to the folding of linen robes, is deliberate, precise, and imbued with symbolic significance. While the laborers exert their physical strength, the elite engage in the subtler exertions of management, diplomacy, and ritual. Advisors present reports on harvests, trade, and resources. Priests discuss upcoming ceremonies and offerings. Scribes carefully record the day's events, inscribing them on papyrus with deliberate strokes. Each act is purposeful yet carried out with a quiet rhythm that mirrors the stillness of the palace itself. Despite the opulence and comfort, life for the elite is far from idle. The pharaoh bears responsibility for the kingdom's welfare, the management of resources, and the spiritual guidance of his people. Imagine him contemplating maps, listening to counsel, and tracing the lines of planned construction on delicate drawings, all while the distant sound of the river echoes softly through open windows. Decisions made here ripple outward, affecting the lives of countless workers on distant pyramid sites. The contrast between the palace and the pyramid camp is striking. In one place, hands are calloused, bodies carry the rhythm of exertion, and life is measured in stones and sweat. In the other, gestures are measured, movements deliberate, and life is measured in protocol, ritual, and the cadence of conversation. Yet both worlds are intertwined. The comfort and decisions of the elite rely on the laborer's persistence. Imagine a soft note rising above the desert sands, carried briefly by the wind, blending with the distant sounds of movement and the murmur of human voices. Even in fragments, these elements provide a comforting sense of continuity, connection, and enduring human presence. The pyramids themselves are living witnesses to this hidden world. Every stone, groove, and faint mark carries subtle stories, skill, patience, devotion, and quiet wonder. Imagine walking slowly along a smooth limestone face, fingertips grazing carefully chiseled edges, and sensing the persistence of countless hands and minds over centuries. The stones hold a calm memory, waiting for the attentive observer to notice, reflect, and gently imagine the lives intertwined with their creation. In these archaeological whispers, we find a bridge between past and present, the gentle labor, quiet rituals, and small gestures of community remind us that history is not only monumental but also intimate, measured, and human. The pyramids, while awe-inspiring in scale, are built on rhythms that are surprisingly gentle when considered. Up close, the cadence of hands, minds, and spirits working in harmony. As the day ends and the desert grows quiet under a soft evening glow, imagine the sight in reflection. Stones rest in orderly rows, tools lie carefully aside, and traces of small offerings remain undisturbed in the sand. There is serenity here, a calm testimony to human persistence, imagination, and care. You may let your mind wander slowly across the pyramids, between the visible and hidden, feeling the gentle presence of history beneath your thoughts. A quiet companion on your journey toward rest. Imagine the same sun rising over the Nile, spilling its warm light across the desert, yet shifting your focus from the bustling laborers to a quieter, more ornate world. Here, in the homes and courts of the pharaohs and their officials, life unfolds with a different rhythm, guided not by sledges and chisels, but by ceremony, administration, and subtle pleasures. The contrast is not meant to startle, but to reflect. Gently, the diversity of human experience in ancient Egypt. The elite awaken in homes adorned with polished walls, delicate murals, and soft reed mats. Imagine the faint scent of oils and incense lingering in the air, the careful arrangement of furniture, and the muted sound of attendants moving quietly through cool corridors. Mornings may begin with ritual ablutions, the gentle brushing of hair, and the selection of garments dyed in calm, harmonious colors. There is a sense of deliberate pace here, a measured unfolding of the day, much like the steady rhythm of the pyramid site, but with a focus on comfort, presentation, and ceremonial grace. Food, preparation, and sustenance carry a refined calmness. Breakfast might include bread, figs, dates, and small portions of prepared fish or poultry. Imagine the soft crackle of a hearth, the delicate aroma of baked bread, and the muted clink of pottery vessels. Meals are not hurried. They are observed and appreciated, a quiet ritual that honors nourishment, community, and the rhythm of daily life. Attendants serve with care, ensuring that every dish and utensil is arranged with precision, a gentle choreography of domestic attention, education, and administration shape the elite's day. Young nobles might study hieroglyphs, mathematics, and astronomy, learning the skills needed to sustain and manage estates, religious obligations, and state affairs. Imagine a soft quill scratching against papyrus, the measured repetition of practice, and the careful guidance of a tutor. Knowledge here is cultivated, not with urgency, but with patience. Each lesson a quiet brick in the architecture of governance and culture. Entertainment and cultural expression are also integral. Music, poetry, and dance offer calm aesthetic pleasure. Imagine the soft pluck of a lyre, the gentle rhythm of hand percussion, and voices singing in unhurried, soothing cadence. These moments are not only leisure, but subtle reinforcement of social cohesion, spiritual reflection, and gentle celebration. Even in their luxury, the elite maintain a rhythm of order, balance, and subtle attentiveness to the world around them. Religious observance is central. Temples, altars, and shrines provide spaces for reflection, prayer, and ritual. Imagine the soft flicker of candlelight, the delicate scent of burned incense, and the quiet chanting of hymns. These practices, while formal, offer a gentle structure to the day, echoing the discipline and care seen on the pyramid site, yet translated into spiritual contemplation rather than physical exertion. Attendants and servants maintain the rhythm of the household with calm precision. Their movements are unobtrusive but attentive, attending to the needs of the elite while preserving a tranquil environment. Imagine hands adjusting cushions, pouring water, or arranging garments. Each gesture, small but deliberate, contributing to the seamless functioning of daily life. Even in service, there is dignity and rhythm, a soft reflection of the human coordination, seen among the pyramid workers, yet expressed through care and refinement. The pharaoh, while distant from the stones and sand, remains deeply symbolic of order and continuity. Ceremonial duties, advisory councils, and public rituals occupy attention. Yet these are executed with calm dignity, a reflection of the broader cosmic and societal order. Imagine the soft glow of sunrise on polished floors, the quiet movement of robes, and the deliberate gestures that mark authority without haste or ostentation. Here too, rhythm, patience, and careful observation define the day. Contrasts with laborers are apparent but gentle to observe. While one world moves through the physical exertion of stone, ramps, and coordinated effort, the other navigates administrative, ceremonial, and cultural challenges. Yet both are bound by structure, patience, and subtle mastery of rhythm. One is expressed through hands shaping limestone, the other through hands shaping ritual, knowledge, and aesthetics. Both contribute to a society held together by deliberate, consistent effort. Evenings among the elite carry a soft wind down. Meals are taken with attentive conversation. Music and poetry soothe the senses. Candles and lamps cast warm, flickering shadows. The day's work, whether in governance or ritual, gives way to gentle reflection. Imagine the soft evening breeze. Through lattice windows, the muted chatter of family and attendants, and the calm satisfaction of tasks completed with care and attention. The contrast highlights not only disparity, but complementarity. The laborer's exertion builds structures that define eternity. The elite's guidance, rituals, and administration ensure continuity, order, and cultural richness. Both worlds, though vastly different in appearance and immediate experience, contribute to the slow, deliberate unfolding of civilization. The pyramid stands not only as a monument of stone, but as a testament to rhythm, patience, and human coordination across social strata in the quiet moments of the night. As the desert cools and stars glimmer above, both worlds' laborers resting in simple dwellings, and the elite in decorated homes share a common calm. The gentle pulse of life, in all its varied forms, continues beneath the eternal gaze of the pyramids. Each breath, each quiet gesture, each small act of care and diligence echoes the broader story of human persistence, ingenuity, and subtle beauty. As you imagine the soft lamplight fading, the gentle hush of the Nile flowing nearby, and the slow, steady rhythm of lives intertwined with history, allow yourself to rest in the awareness of continuity. The pyramids, the laborers, the overseers, and the elite all are threads in a calm tapestry of human endeavor, inviting reflection, serenity, and the gentle easing toward sleep. as the day's reflections on the pyramids come to a gentle close. Imagine yourself standing once more in the desert, the vastness of the sands stretching quietly around you. The sun has long dipped below the horizon, leaving only the soft glow of twilight, and a faint breeze carries the cool, calming scent of earth and stone. The pyramids rise silently, monumental yet serene, witnesses to countless lives, efforts, and stories that have unfolded over millennia. Throughout this journey, we have wandered the daily rhythms of laborers, felt the meticulous care of overseers, glimpsed the private worlds of the elite, and quietly explored the mysteries hidden in stone and sand. We have imagined hands shaping limestone, the faint hum of activity in distant settlements, the soft flicker of lamps in modest homes, and the gentle melodies that accompanied both work and reflection. Each observation, each gentle story is a thread in the vast tapestry of human history, stretching across time yet echoing softly into the present. Consider the pyramid builders, whose lives were measured by the rhythm of physical exertion, cooperation, and patience. Their sweat, ingenuity, and quiet perseverance created structures that would endure for millennia, monuments to human diligence and ingenuity. And yet, we have also felt the calm and structured life of those in positions of influence, careful, deliberate, and ritualized. These contrasts remind us that human existence has always been multifaceted, each layer contributing to the greater order with its own quiet dignity. The archaeological whispers, subtle traces of personal items, offerings, and inscriptions speak across time in a gentle language of human presence. They invite reflection rather than awe, understanding rather than sensationalism. The pyramids themselves, though towering and impressive, offer comfort in their steadfastness, symbol of persistence, continuity, and calm resolution of effort over time. Now, let your thoughts drift slowly over the desert sands, over the slope, deliberate strokes of chisels, the careful placement of stones, the soft cadence of footsteps and whispered chants. Let the rhythm of human endeavor, repeated across centuries, mingle with your own breath, slowing naturally, softly, without force. Each exhalation releases tension. Each inhalation fills you with gentle awareness of endurance, care, and subtle beauty. Imagine the quiet Nile flowing nearby, its gentle current reflecting the twilight sky, carrying away the residue of your day's thoughts and worries. Feel the cool evening air brushing softly against your skin, and picture the pyramids bathed in a serene glow, standing quietly as guardians of time, history, and memory. The lessons of the past are not meant to stir urgency, but to soothe. Through labor and culture, mystery and ritual, disparity and harmony, we glimpse the enduring rhythm of life. Each moment, each gentle observation invites calm, reflection, and a sense of connection with those who walked the sands before us. You are a quiet witness to history, and in that witnessing there is peace. As you settle into rest, allow the vastness of the desert, the gentle weight of history, and the steady presence of stone to lull you. The pyramids, silent and eternal, watch over the land. Let your mind wander slowly over their surfaces, along the smooth edges of limestone, past the quiet graves of laborers, through the ceremonial halls of the elite, and into the soft mysteries hidden in the sands. Each detail, imagined calmly, becomes a gentle companion guiding you toward sleep now. Imagine yourself lying back, the rhythm of your own breath blending with the rhythm of history. With each inhale, absorb the calm continuity of human endeavor. With each exhale, release any lingering tension. Allow the quiet stories of ancient hands, tools, rituals, and stones to drift through your mind like a gentle current, bringing soft closure to the day's reflections. Rest in this space of timelessness, Akib Luna. As the pyramids stand in quiet companionship, monuments of patience, care, and enduring human presence. Let your thoughts slow, your body sink gently, and your mind drift comfortably into the soft embrace of sleep. The history of the pyramid builders, the mysteries of the stones, and the rhythms of human life are now softly fading into the night. The past has spoken in whispers, and now it rests. So too shall you, in the calm, steady flow of this quiet, timeless journey. Good night.